the next thing is what I like and what I don't like about this car. I think this is something that people have asked me to do a lot, and I thought after living with this car for 2000 kilometers, I have a pretty decent idea of what I like and what I dislike about this car. So firstly, engine gearbox is absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is one of those rare cars which I've driven from the factory, and that includes the RS230, which I wouldn't mind keeping stock. I mean, I know this is a little hard to hear. Even my wife was a little freaked out when I said I don't mind keeping this stock, because it has just the right amount of power and the right amount of grip, and the gearbox is just perfect for this setup. So as a setup from factory, this car is really good, and I really don't want to mess with the setup initially. I want to enjoy the stock setup as much as I can. I'm sure until I hit the track the first time, I know I'll start modifying it, because then a lot of the issues, the weaknesses of the chassis, of the suspension, of the engine will show up when I go on track, and then you start identifying those weaknesses and supplementing them with aftermarket parts to try to cure them and make the car perform better on track and on the street. But until then, the car stays stock. Little efficiency mods I've been doing, like the intake pipe and the turbo inlet. I'm going to open up the intake a little bit more. I'll do a separate video on what I'm going to do, and that should be more than enough for the first 7,000 kilometers on this car. So yeah, the package, this car is fantastic. I mean, the way it drives, the way it handles, the tires, the suspension, the engine, the gearbox is just perfect. So that's what I really like about the car. Interiors, I don't know. I mean, is it a 40 lakh worth interior? I don't know. I don't think so. So for the interiors, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't like this quality. I definitely don't like this quality. I mean, at eye level, at this level, the quality is still acceptable. But the moment you go below the level of the center console, this infotainment unit, the quality just drops drastically. I mean, it's terrible compared to, especially when I'm paying 40 lakhs for a car. I would like the quality of the material to feel a little bit better, especially since the CB. So in terms of quality of material, I don't think there's any difference in the quality of material between this car and the 230, because 230 was a CKD, this is a CBU, but quality of materials is the same. The sunroof rattle is there in this car as well. God knows why Skoda has not solved it. The center console, this part is horrible. I mean, if there's one thing I did not like of the 230, which they carried on to the 245, is this center console. The gear lever surround is plastic. It's hard plastic. It's got an ugly pattern on it. It's shiny. It gets scratched pretty easily, and just it looks like something out of a 90s Toyota. You know, a similar gear console is in the Tiguan, and it looks so much classier and better. This thing looks like this was afterthought. That, you know, this, okay, we have to put something around the gear lever. Let's put the flattest, ugliest piece of plastic we can find and put it in the car. So I absolutely don't like this plastic at all. The layout, pretty decent. I mean, you got the USB ports here, you got switches over here. It's okay. It's nothing to write home about. The infotainment unit, as all the new WAGs are, is fantastic. It's got a lot of features. It's more like a tablet over here and a tablet over there than an actual infotainment unit. I think it's got too much tech, but it's okay. You know, in today's car, the tech is actually it's going up, and there's nothing you can do about it. Cars are getting more and more touchscreen oriented as we go, and more and less buttons. So, and that's a double-edged sword on this car. So that's about the interior. Interiors also, the door cards are horrible. I mean, whatever you see on the door cards over here, I'll show you when I stop somewhere. I just don't like the door cards. I think they should have been a little bit more, how would I put it to you, contoured and little less flat, and like the Superb, which has Alcantara inserts on the door cards, I wish they'd given that on these cars, because Road cars look really cheap for a 40 lakh car. Forget a 40 lakh car. Let's look at the 230. Even at a 30 lakh price tag, these road cars are really, really cheap. And it just makes the car feel very, very cheaply designed inside. Air conditioning, I've heard people complaining about it, that the AC doesn't work, AC is not too good, AC is not too bad. I think it's pretty damn good, I haven't had any issues with the AC. I actually had to turn it down. So if you're one of those people who are not happy with the air conditioner on this car, I have a trick that I think may help you. So the trick to get the AC working better, in case it isn't as working as good as it is for me. So you go into the menu over here, the climate control menu. You go into the fan module and you select any of the AC profiles. From the factory, it's set at medium. You can set it to high. That makes the AC really cool very fast. Suppose you set a temperature, the AC reaches that temperature very fast compared to as it would be in medium. I've kept it at low because I think the AC cools a little too much for me, so I'd rather not have it cool as much. But if you're having issues with the AC, I would say change the profile to high and the AC becomes a lot more effective. And always drive with the AC in auto mode. Use your indicators. Yeah, that's the AC bit. AC bit can be easily solved. I'm running at 23 degree temperature and I leave it at auto most of the time. Unless I see some bad place coming up, then I turn off the recirculation. So that's what the AC thing. The other thing about the climate control, now that we are at it, is something extremely stupid. Now let's say my climate control right now is in auto mode. If I open my vent, the auto mode disappears and it becomes manual, but it doesn't show me the fan speed. I know there's a hack for it. You can using VCDS or OBD11, you can code to show the fan speed, but if I open my vent with the AC in auto mode, I can't see a fan speed. It doesn't tell me that the car is in auto mode. The fan speed has been disabled and auto has been disabled. So I have to just touch the fan module over here to get it to show me the fan speed again, even when it's in manual mode. That's a little silly thing. If I go to auto mode, it again puts the vent in automatic control, and there is no permutation combination that I have been able to figure out. Maybe there is, I'm not very sure, but I have not been able to figure out a permutation combination where the AC can be left in auto mode with the circulation vent closed. So if I close the vent, auto mode goes away. If I hit auto mode, vent opens up or goes into auto open close mode, which I don't like. So that's the infotainment and the climate control. What else is there? This car has something called air care, which is fancy. It's basically a, let's see what this says. Optimal use of the air filter. So it uses the air filter quite a bit to ensure you're getting a less polluted air inside the car. Which is a nice thing. Nice touch, Skoda. Especially with our air pollution issues, this should help. Okay. So that. In terms of, other than that, I think the interiors are pretty decent. Nothing to write home about. The seats are very comfortable, very nice. I just wish they had a little bit more side bolstering. They are meant for a little bit of a fat person's ass. I am not that fat, so I do slide around a little bit in these seats. The Alcantara helps keep traction, but beyond that, the seats I really wish they were a little bit more supportive on the sides at least. On the torso side, the support is good enough. It doesn't come into my body or it doesn't hurt me, nor does it feel like I'm sliding my top over. But yeah, I hope the base was a little bit more supportive and with slightly higher bolstering for supposedly a sports car. So the way this car is set up from the factory is that it does induce little bit of oversteer in the car. So So if I press the gas in a corner too hard, the rear will come out and make the car a little bit more playful. So you have a little bit play in the steering, which makes the car handle better. It can catch you off guard. One of my friends who has the exact same car, he was driving a little too aggressively and he did spin out in this car, which I don't think has happened to 230 ever. So the suspension setup and particularly the wheel and tire, the rear track being a little wider thanks to the bigger brakes, does make this car a little twitchy in very hard cornering or very high speed cornering. So just be aware of that.